Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Emotional and powerful words from Erica Kirk at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, a memorial centered on Christ, country, and courage. Thanks for joining us. For 2 News at 10, I'm Brian Malahi.
And I'm Mika Miyashima. The funeral lasted more than 5 hours, and it's touched off a national conversation on air and online. Our Jim Spiewak is live in Arizona tonight to start our coverage. And Jim, much more quiet there tonight.
Yeah, Mika and Brian, you couldn't go anywhere in this town the last 2 days without seeing some sign of Charlie Kirk's memorial. There were billboards up all over the place, signs everywhere, as more than 100,000 people descended in this area just outside of the State Farm Stadium. It was buzzing earlier today, people as far as you could see. But as the dust now settles on this memorial, there is one message that still remains clear from all of the speakers who spoke today. They plan to carry on Charlie Kirk's message. For more than 4 hours on Sunday, friends, Turning Point USA staff, and cabinet members shared stories and life lessons that Charlie Kirk taught them before Vice President J.D. Vance, President Donald Trump, and Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, spoke.
God bless all of you for coming here from all over the world to honor and celebrate my Charlie.
Repeatedly looking up to the sky while speaking, Erica said she arrived at a Utah hospital on September 10th to do the unthinkable.
I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror. And a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed.
And then, with emotion like had not been seen all day, Erica said this about the suspected shooter.
I forgive him.
The memorial was showered with moments of Charlie's life, a testament Vice President Vance says proves he was slain doing what he loved.
And now he's gone, and our hearts feel so empty because he's been taken from us.
President Trump closed the memorial saying today is a nation in grief.
He was assassinated because he lived bravely, he led boldly.
President Trump called Kirk a martyr for American freedom.
As president, many people asked me for things, but Charlie was one of the few who always gave.
Reporting in Glendale, Jim Spiewak. Now, for as many people as were here, we did not witness any protests inside the stadium over the course of the 5 hours. There were more than 20 speakers who spoke. Among those in attendance, although he didn't speak, he was here in person today, was Utah Governor Spencer Cox. And he took to social media to say some words about Charlie. Let's go ahead and throw it up on your screen. Here's what the governor put out there. He said, quote, Charlie was a remarkable human being, and it was an honor to represent Utah at his memorial service today. His love and freedom and unwavering belief in the power of ideas will continue to inspire generations. Rest in peace, Charlie. Now, as Charlie Kirk's memorial comes to an end today, the impact on his life and his message was far-reaching beyond the state. Back home in Utah, there was a crowd of people that gathered over for a watch party earlier today, and that's where we find KUTV's Christian Sita, who's joining us live in Provo. Christian.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. Now, many people did gather here in Provo for that watch party. Now, many of them said they couldn't make it out there, but they wanted to do something here in Utah. A week after Charlie Kirk's death, people paused to reflect, watching a funeral that took place hundreds of miles away. But for many here, this wasn't about distance, it was about connection.
So I was going to golf, and then I went over to Charlie Kirk's memorial, and I was overcome with grief.
Tim Savage came from Kentucky for a different reason, but found himself drawn here instead.
You were somebody before this happened, and then you're going to be somebody after it. And that's the question I've been asking myself, who am I going to be after this?
Though Charlie Kirk's funeral was far away, the people here felt close, not just to the man, but to the moment.
I think it's being able to understand where we are, what we're standing for, and I think being able to take leadership from a man that's not with us anymore, and leaders being able to step up in his place and starting that.
Now, he also mentioned that it was nice to see people coming together and that it brought a sense of unity. Reporting live in Provo, Christian Sita, KUTV 2 News. I'll send it right back to you, Jim.
All right, Christian, thank you very much for that report. So, as Charlie Kirk's memorial now comes to an end, his message and his legacy will continue on. His radio show and his podcast will continue tomorrow with guest hosts of those programs. One of the messages that we heard inside the stadium today was that they want to carry on his legacy and his message, which is now going to happen, according to the people that spoke, in a much louder sense than ever happened while he was alive. That's going to wrap our coverage live in Glendale. Jim Spiewak, KUTV 2 News. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Jim, and following up on that point, former Utah Governor Gary Herbert thinks Charlie Kirk's voice in his passing will take on new life as well.
The former governor earlier this afternoon reflecting on the memorial ceremony and the significance of the moment.
The fact that he was assassinated, he's a chapter in history about what had happened to him and why. And so I think that he'll be remembered and his voice will become larger and expanded. The things that he taught and he spoke about will become more, I think, common in our public discourse.
Charlie Kirk was remembered today as a bold and unafraid witness to Jesus Christ.
His political organization, Turning Point USA, was described as the most important organization in the country. You can watch our full interview with the former governor on our KUTV YouTube page.
And new at 10 o'clock, vehicles donning American flags on the streets of Utah County. Organizers say this was not a political event,
but rather a peaceful memorial ride to honor Kirk and his family. The ride started in Santaquin and ended at UVU.